Hello. So, I want to put my idea out there of changing how money works in the system. So, right now, how things have been happening for the last thousands of years, how money works is that the same money that you have can be used for something like food or something like a toaster. Basically, money is equally used for everything, whether it's something illegal like bribes or, I don't know, some sort of drugs or something else. So money has always kind of been that point of being able to use for anything, right? So how about now, today, in our modern society, we actually separate the point of money basically between what things we need and the things we don't need. You can call that um, kind of like luxurious or the added things in life, the nice designer clothes and jewelry, that those kind of special commodities that are different or services that are different. But it's getting clear that things like food and water and shelter and we need some new clothes. There's really things that are really for living. Um, that can be separated and that can be guaranteed. So like a whole different, like drawing a line in the economy to really make that part different and everyone being guaranteed that part. And yes, it's gonna take time and money and taxes, but it could be done and it would need to be regulated and it would need to be um, made to work. And one of the loopholes is how that could be easily solved is that if you're not doing anything, if you have free time, or just sitting around and you're living, in this way, not working towards some kind of goal or career, then you have to, by law, by conscription, participate in this part of the economy. So at least you give for what you're receiving. And obviously this isn't the point of you have to do it, slavery. It's just a point of common sense. And obviously it could be done within, maybe you receive a little bit of money. Who knows? Depends on what the numbers are. But the main point is that you're receiving, so obviously you need to give. So there's that point of equality and oneness right there. And this way, you don't have loopholes, you know, um, and you have a clear way where people can participate and not be unemployed. They can actually participate in the system. And the reason why this is needed is simply that point of survival, at least. But I'd rather not only be survival but living, to actually be able to live pretty well. It's something within common sense. I think that is doable. And because imagine if we all wanted to focus only on living well, providing things that are well, food that's grown well, clothes that are made well. I know it would take more time and require more patience, and we won't be paying factory workers in India or whatever in China to make cheap clothes for a very cheap cost. But if we do it ourselves and we do it well, that's good. And so, yes, in this sector of economy and these needs, if you, I don't know where to call it, living well, you could say, living well economy, yes, things will take more time, but it will have to be done more well, living well. And so, if we wanted to, as human beings, we could just focus on living well and just doing things well. Not always rushing and making the most amount of money, because now that's what we're doing. And I guess a way to work within the system is to kind of separate, in half this system from that system. And those who really just want to focus on living well simply can do so. And no one will have to die, unnecessarily or suffer unnecessarily. Everyone can participate. And I believe this can be used across the whole world. So it does change the whole world. Now, obviously, we're not interfering or touching the rest of the economy that's involved in things which are needed. That's more entertainment or more kind of that kind of field. If people want to participate in there, it's fine. It's not a problem. The point is more making sure that life is guaranteed for all, right? So, and I suggest that a whole different currency be used, that the two shouldn't be interchangeable in the sense of how you can right now change currencies between two different types. I think it should be a whole different part of the economy. And I mean, realistically, there are many ways to work within this that can be unique and special to local places and local populations. But it's definitely making sure that no one takes advantage of the system in a way that affects people's lives seriously. Because there's a difference, for example, when you cheat in a video game and you take advantage in a video game, and then when you actually take advantage of someone in the real world, meaning you take advantage of the fact that they're poor and they need money to eat. So there's a difference there. There's a difference when people who already have what they need, they're kind of just being jerks to each other. Because right now, I want to make my priority the priority, which is making sure human beings are taken care of, that their needs are met. I think that's the priority. The rest of what's going on, it's not so important. In fact, the next agenda point, which hopefully goes hand in hand with this, is Earth, is animals and plants. To make sure there's that harmony there, because equally as we have an economy for the things that we need to create a whole system for making sure the Earth is taken care of and the animals and plants get what they need. And that requires some kind of action, maybe some kind of legislation or some kind of creation of some kind. And I think this point of creating this separate economy of, for example, where food is grown well. Imagine you can work, conscripted or not, you participate, let's say, by choice of, okay, I don't have, my choice is to be, let's say, a farmer that grows food well. That's really deep in nutrition. The plants are very well taken care of. It's not for making the most amount of money. It's about making the best food. And yeah, imagine if we had an economy like that, an economy sector like that. It would be much, much more different, wouldn't it? So that's my proposal, to create two systems, basically separating the system in half. And it can be done in such a way where it's self-sustainable through, if you're participating in it, you have to give your time in it, and it shouldn't be about lots of taxes and money. It should be a point of sustainability where it's simply about organizing the points for people to be able to participate in the jobs and the areas that make that stable and sustainable and function well. And it really is about living well. Maybe let's call it the living well system. How about that? Living well. Because I don't want it just about needs or survival. I want living well. So how about the living well system? And again, that's simply cutting the economy in two. And yeah. And so within be able to live well, we could really look into how we can do things better, like for the earth, for the environment, for the water, the oceans, the animals. And it can be a point of, because if we really take care of the things we need to live, we can devote all our extra time in really making sure we live well, right? That's the idea. Take care of things we need to live, and then we can live well and give well to the earth, to our community, society, to the whole world. And I think we can bring the whole world into this point and really being an example, wherever it starts. But we can do this within this world. So that would be quite interesting. And it would challenge a lot of points because no longer can any company or business force someone, take advantage of someone who needs to eat to work very cheaply. We would really be a truly benevolent society through giving this living well path for everyone. And so then these other companies will have to raise up their wages in order to entice them, let's say in that private sector, if you want to call it that, to entice them, or they find other solutions like robots, right? Now it's going to be the big thing now, isn't it? But it's also recognizing that some things are a point of luxury. And if they cost more, then that's fine. It's luxurious. But let us not, for example, have like a yacht, which costs money, which that same money could be using to support people, support life. So let's just separate the two. Make it simple. Just separate it. And in a way, this is inspired. This, what I'm saying, is inspired by the cathedral, the Notre Dame in France, because money could be used to support people. So let's just cut the bullshit and just cut the economy in half. Things which are needed, let's make it guaranteed. Live life well. The rest of it can be used for whatever, in a way. Of course, the main point here, then, the next step, making sure the earth is well and what's good for the earth and everyone is taken care of. So this is what I'm seeing as a potential solution that we could implement. And so yeah, thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye.